For this great day, I can see that the weather is not helping us at all. Hello? This winter season is not helping us at all. Because we could have visualized all the lovely dresses and shirts being worn by the pathfinders and also the parents. But because of the weather, we are still playing safe. Hello? We are still playing safe, and we are not expressing ourselves ideally the way we ought to be. That reminds me, when we are back home, Saturdays you see different fashions. I'm Nigerian. You see the hair ties of the women covering you from seeing the front. These are all fashion statements in the heart of the Lord, just to portray how different we are. And today we are having Pathfinder International Day. And for us to be together in a church, we will spend a few minutes talking about the power of unity. The power of unity. I am sure that some of you are also bored like me, looking at the televisions about Brexit. Hello? Even in church, we are talking about Brexit. 2 weeks ago till last week, open the TV, it's always Brexit, Brexit, Brexit. Deal or no deal. That is the word we're hearing every day. But however, 2.5 years ago, when they were campaigning for Brexit, we had the Remainers united in one fold and the Leavers united in one fold. All were giving us all manners of promises because they were united. But now, even among the Leavers, we are seeing disunity, isn't it? Because we want softer Brexit, we want hard Brexit, everyone is confused. Now, let us go to Trump's land, America. We are getting to 60 days now. The government has been what? Shut down. Nothing is happening. Disunity. The world is striving for unity, isn't it? Everyone is fighting for unity. But unfortunately, beloved, I will submit to you today, the world will not achieve what? Unity. Irrespective of what they want to say. That is why after World War I, in January 10, 1920, they came up with this fantasy idea and they call it the League of Nations. All because they want to what? Have unity. Unfortunately, the League of Nations didn't work. Hitler came to the scene. And from 1937, the World War II was gradually building up. 1939, it went off full swing. And after the war ended in 1945, they saw the limitations of the League of Nations. They now say, let us have what is called United what? Nations. All they are chasing towards what? Having what? Unity. The whole world we are working together. But unfortunately, beloved, the unity they were fighting for was not coming by. They decided that since 1945 to date, it's not working. Let's try our best to have sub-regional associations. We have the EU going to other continents. Africa, we have the OAU that have now metamorphosed now to AU. We have the American version of all unity. All because they are looking for what? Unity. And beloved, the unity is not coming forward. The more we try to unite, the more we become disunited. And God saw this, that even in his church, there will be disunity. That is why he spent time in John 17 praying for his church. He prayed that his honest desire is for the church to be like him and his Father. They are one. We have no choice than to be one. That is why International Day only reaffirms why we need to be one. Human beings have always been on the edge of life. If we look at our Bibles, Genesis chapter 2, verse 26, the Bible declares, Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, rather, please. God says, let us make man in our own what? Image. God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. Let us make man in our own image, beloved. And man was made. When man was made, man was given the freedom of choice, and man messed up along the way. We now came to Genesis chapter 3, when Adam and Eve finally fell. And God again came through his son Christ to make this promise that man, I know you have messed up, but I am going to redeem you. Man was redeemed. A promise was put in place for man to be redeemed. And man said, that is not good enough for me. Man continued. We came to Genesis chapter 6, the wickedness of the world. Man became so wicked that all their thoughts were just evil continually. Then God said, enough is enough. I am going to do something about these guys. That was the first time the Bible records God became not happy because he has made man. And Genesis chapter 7, God instructed Noah to build the ark. Flood came and the world was destroyed. And God gave them something very unique, that I am not going to destroy the world again with the water, and gave them the rainbow. Beloved, sadly enough, today the rainbow that God gave have not become the sign of the LGBT group. Hello? That's to say, if Christ tarries the next 50 years, it will take extra explanation for people to know that the LGBT logo was actually given by God as a sign not to destroy the world. Whatever God comes up with, Satan does what? Comes up with his to counteract. Man became so united. Let's go forward now. Genesis chapter 11. Man became united again to say, let us not believe what God said, because flood will come back. And men and women became united just to build the Tower of Babel for them to escape in case flood comes again. That was where the unity of man ceased to be. Man became united for a common goal. And that goal was just for them to achieve their selfish reason. Let us make a name for ourselves. And God said, no, this is not possible. This is not going to happen. Then the issue that we saw in Genesis chapter 1 verse 26, God said again, let us go and do what? And confuse them. Man's language was now completely confused. That is why today, most probably, someone from the Zulu speaking tribe was there that day. Someone from the Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, and the Ashanti kingdom was there that day. And man's language became confused. We all know the story very well. Man was not united again. They started on the forefront of building a tower, and God confused them. And disunity have continued up to this day. Beloved, that is why Revelation chapter 12, verse 10 talks about woe to the inhabitants of the earth, because the devil is where? Right here. How many of us have seen the works of the devil? How many of us have seen the works of the devil? One of the cardinal points of the devil is to sow discord. Hello? That is why Amos chapter 3 verse 3 says, two cannot walk except to do what? They agree. If a husband and a wife have finally decided to get married, and they have married peacefully, and they now decided not to be united for a common goal, I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, that family will be chaos. Hello? We are very quiet. Let us be lively, please. I know it is very cold. Let us be lively. We are in God's presence. If husband and wife are together and they are not working in the same page, that family is doomed. It can never work. And remember, the devil is the one that does this. Supposing the husband is a perfect gambler and the wife is a saver, nothing will work in that family. Because Mr. will want to gamble out the money, hoping that he will win much money to the family. The wife will say, please, darling, calm down. Let's save this money. And there will be chaos. This is a living story. A husband and a wife in this country, in London, they were saving money to get their mortgage. The wife was adding more money to the pot, but the husband was waiting for the money to complete so that he can go and get his BMW. They had a desire to get a mortgage. The money was not saved up for some time, and the man woke up one morning and said, a BMW is for me, is my priorities at this time. That is the cause of disunity. Disunity can make you not to work together in one accord. I once read an article while I was doing my studies about why is it that in a mental home they have less staff and more service users. And the author came to the conclusion that because these psychiatric patients, they can never be united to attack the staff. Attacks comes springly, individually, but for them to come together as a team to attack the staff, they can overpower them, but that is not possible in a very severe acute ward. And they said, this guy, why are you always alone on the ward? He said, these guys, they cannot put together against me. That is the power of unity. If you are united with whatever you are doing, certainly things will not work against you all the time. I just want us to cast our mind forward and see what the Bible has to tell us. Joshua chapter 6. The Israelites were in one accord when God gave them the instructions. Just march around the walls of Jericho. Just march. I heard the elder this morning talking about how the people might have seen Joshua. This reason of marching is not effective. But because they were united, beloved, all they do is just march. God says, march. And they did. On the first day, march once. Second day, march once. Then on the seventh day, march how many times? 7 times. Because they were what? United. And we saw how it ended. Then I come to Joshua chapter 7. The same people that have just won a major victory because they were united. A little people, AI, defeated them mercilessly. It's just like now. A little boy telling me, I will give you a bloody nose. I look at my size, look at him. And he's still saying, I will give you a bloody nose. Maybe I will sit down and ask myself, what is giving him motivation? That will be the first thing in my mind. That is the analogy I'm giving here between the Israelites. They fought a big battle. God helped them, they won the battle. But now, little country, AI, defeated them. And the bottom line is, as you all know the story, these folks were disunited. Someone among them have done what? Have messed up. But once that was solved, that was resolved, they went on the next, in chapter 8, they were what? They conquered AI. That is to tell you that in a place where there are disunity, nothing works. There's no magic about this. Even in God's house, nothing will work. Nothing will work. And Paul, being who he is, wrote in Romans 12, verse 14, the church is like a body. The church is like a body. The eye might not say, I'm too important to see everything. Because if the ear doesn't hear what is being said, the eye is useless. But if at the end of the day, the head is saying, please, you people are carrying me everywhere. I want to go out. That function cannot work together. God's church must be united. And I love the way the Bible puts it. In John chapter 17, where Christ was praying, the Bible says, try your best to live in peace with all men. Yes. Hello? Yes. Try to live in peace with all men. Naturally, there are some people you don't like. Hello? Hello? There are folks you don't like. But for the love of God, try your best to live in peace with them. Amen. Because if we are hoping to go to heaven, I have these people say this funny thing, that what happens if you end up in heaven and the person you hated so much is your next neighbor? You won't even go there before becoming neighbors. Because if you have enmity in your heart, you and I will not go to heaven. How much more of becoming neighbors? In God's church, there are things that makes us disunited. I am from Nigeria. Amos is from Kenya. Someone here is from Ghana. Supposing the Ghana government and Nigeria government don't get along, sometimes we unconsciously bring those things to what? To God's church. Because he's Caribbean, she's from Africa, we won't get along. But God is telling us, we don't have a choice, but we need to get along. Because if we don't get along, the gospel of Christ will not go on. And I'm going to say this clearly, because sometimes we will think that the Bible is more or less like a scam. That is why 4 months ago, on Sunday morning, I was watching the TV. They call it Hard Question. And the presenter was saying the works of Shakespeare and the Bible, which is more relevant today. I sat on my couch in my living room. I asked myself, people are spending the whole of the morning arguing about the works of Shakespeare and the Bible, which is more relevant today. That is the level of disunity among the world. 1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 10 talks about, Paul was saying that he is appealing to everyone. Let us be united in one mind, because being united in one mind will save us so much trouble. Ephesians chapter 4 verses 11 to 13 talks about some people are giving some gift. Some are prophets, some are apostles. But the bottom line is, whatever gift you have, use it for who? For the Lord. Because it is unto God's glory. When I was still pastoring back home, there are some members that when they hear my name, they are not happy. Because such members, he called them to participate in church services on the normal Sabbath day. They will not want to participate. But on a high Sabbath, where there will be lots of visitors, that's the day they want to sing. That's the day they want to show themselves. And I'm the pastor. You are not going up there. Because if you cannot sing that song when it is church members alone, you will not sing that same song when others are coming. And such things breeds disunity. It might happen also in this church. We need to participate in every program. Because unity is essential. If I only support the programs I like, I only come to church the day I like, what happens the day something happens in the church you don't like? Or if everyone is like you, who is selective of what to do in church? I have seen church members whereby things are happening in the church because they don't like that person doing it, they are what? Outside. Such instances brings what? Disunity. Paul is saying everything is given for what? A reason. For God's church to be what? Edified. Amen. There's one short, very short author back home. He was saying he so much thanked God he was so short. Because if he was tall, for him not becoming a celebrity, he won't be there. Because of his stature, he was not involved in the movie roles. Everyone in the world is watching him. Some of us in the church, we are short. We want to become what? Tall. We don't even value what we have. Hello? There are various ways of disunity in the church. And these ones are just the vital. I want to be practical here with us. Because if we are not practical enough, sometimes we lose the mark. I don't believe so much in theories. Today we are talking about Edagode. How lovely he has done. Amen. I almost shed tears there. I almost shed tears. Because these days we hear a word, let me age disgracefully. Go on social media. Some people say, let me age what? Disgracefully. But to God be the glory, we have somebody in God's church who stood and was united with the church. Amen. Thus far. My dad is 94. And I was looking at Edagode, I was picturing some things my dad, because my dad, beloved, you cannot keep that man at home. You cannot keep him at home. He's always on the go. But today, sometimes we say the church is not united. For that reason, let me move to somewhere else. Beloved, you are moving to another version of disunity. And we might be saying the church is very cold. Young people, Pathfinders, I'm talking to you now. Yes. The church is very cold. I said this about school. Thank God for Pathfinder. Some of us are in the church. Thank God for Pathfinder. Because when I left home and came to Europe, a place I was living, in my local church, I was the only black human being in that church. Most times, people don't want to shake my hands. I told myself, this church, nobody is going to chase me away. Every week, I'm in church. Because there are things to happen in your life, you ask yourself, because by His grace, I have already formed that unity with the church. Not because my parents were in the church, but because I have studied for myself. Pathfinders, hello? It's not for you to be in church, always to be marching. Marching is lovely. The church has been so good to provide you Pathfinder what? Bibles. Read it. You don't understand, ask questions. It is because by His grace I have known, thus says the Lord. That is why I am in the church. It is very easy to go away from the church, whereby no father, no mother is looking at you. Let us as adults as well try our best to hold on to the tenets of the church. George Knight, an Adventist historian, wrote, when the church had less PhDs and demons in the pastoral ministry, the church was more united. But since we have demons, PhDs, church history, name it, we'll have now conservatives, and liberals. Having more disunited world front before God's church. And the devil claps his hands very well. Let them argue among themselves. If we are not united as a church, our prayers will not be answered. Hello? If we are disunited, we will pray. There will always be an Achan in the camp. But whereby we are united, we can gladly say Pathfinder is indeed an international day, because we are singing from the same page. What is happening in the world is fully in the church today. People are running around looking for what will unite them. And let us not deceive ourselves. In as much as we are living in the world, as Christ prayed in John 17, the devil will work very hard to take us away from who? From Christ. But because we want to remain under his wings, he will keep us. Amen. Because we want to remain under his wings, he will keep us. The question is, how are we going to remain under his wings? When I was in uni, one of my lecturers normally tells us that sometimes failure is in London and we are living in Milton Keynes and we are begging failure, please, I need you urgently. Please come to me. What am I applying here? If there are things that bridge disunity in the church, let us cut them off. Let us cut them off. Like this famous saying, let us sweep them under the carpet. I normally say, if we keep sweeping everything under the carpet, one day that carpet will be old, and you want to change the carpet. You take the carpet off, everything swept under with what? Will come up. If there are things that makes us to be disunited, some scruples, name it, let us try our best to make peace, because where there is peace, God's love will rule forever. Amen. Finally, brethren, let us know that it is important that 1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 10 to 13 speaks of love. If there's a word the world today have bastardized, it's love. Everybody, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. You don't really know where are we heading to. Let us speak the truth word in love. Let us correct the younger ones in love. One thing I have come to realize, when you're a pastor of a church, there are some information you are privy to. At least you can go to the church records as long as the books are available and read what happened in that church, even when you're not there. And this elder, he was in his late 50s there. He was a rough rider when he was young. He was a rough rider when he was young. And now, the young ones know his history. But he is the first one to rebuke the young ones. You are doing this, you are doing that. Beloved, in this church, and wherever we find ourselves, let us not be deceived. Some of these young ones knows how we were when we are growing up. Supposing you are so rough in the church, and all of a sudden, you are becoming now very harsh to them. If they have the guts, they will tell you sometimes, elder, take it easy. Take it easy. Lady, take it easy. Because if we are speaking the truth in love, we won't be disunited. If there are some folks that are unlovable, let's not count that out. But still, we are being told by Christ, love such individuals. Not everybody wants to say good morning to you, but because the culture says good morning, how are you? I am fine. It becomes something like a cliche. Good morning, the next question comes, how are you? I am fine. Or the greeters at the door. Because if you not say, I'm not fine, you have not become the odd one in the pack. We have been told it is important that love must abide among us. Then we will be what? United. I'm believing God that the more we become united in His cause, then we can all go out and evangelize and let others know it is important to be united. Because without unity, beloved, we are going nowhere. God bless you.